How's it going, guys? It is Tim Binney for week two's video reflection for technical writing. I'm going to talk about a few things this week. First off, what I discovered about my project during the research process. One main thing, actually, which was actually in the research report, because it completely changes who and what the application does, is that I found through the research that my audience. The projected audience at least, would be completely different than what I expected. Um, I found that the success of the application, based off of what its features had um, were involved in, were more suited to a business application rather than a personal application. That being said, I found that pushing the application towards a scheduling application based off of business would have a higher success rate than a personal one. However, I would like to see that if the application was built, that maybe you could have a couple separate versions of the application for users to use. That way, if they use it in business, they could have the I'm available business version, and then they could also have the I'm available personal version. Differences being that one would be a database type um, application that your boss could create and have for your employees, request time off, and things like that. And the personal version being slightly different, where it's still a database and a calendar and whatnot, but it's more for personal use and social media events and such things like that. Um, Through crowdfunding, through the research through that, I think it's a great idea. Knowing a couple people who create applications in the real world as of right now, I know that Kickstarter is a huge thing for them for funding and going to see. I think it's a great idea because it lets you see who's interested. It lets you see who wants to invest, who wants the application, who would use the application if what you think or who you think is going to use the application is actually who wants to see the application to be successful. So I think crowdfunding is definitely an idea that I would use and um, try and get funding through. Um, the writing proposal for my idea, um, the, the main problem I find with the application that I presented um, is that it needs something behind it to make it more than just a normal calendar. It needs to be more than just, oh, there's a bunch of things on this calendar. It needs to have functionality beyond just scheduling. For like the business application side of things, it needs to have places where you can request time off that gets sent to your boss, and places that you can potentially switch with other users, other employees within your business, without even having to uh, go through your boss. I mean, let's say you have a 40-hour a week schedule, um, and that's all you can do. Um, you know, it won't let you switch schedules with another person if it puts them into overtime, for instance, or something along those lines. It needs to have that functionality to where it doesn't require the boss to go in and manually do things. So it needs to have extra functionality. Whereas on a personal side, it needs to have other things if it was built. So I think that would be the main problem that would have to be solved with the app's functionality. So until next week, guys, I will see you then, and that's my project for this week. Take care.